Our top lead this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Snoopgate 2 is back in how? 2 years after the Pegasus snooping saga pushed the government of the day to a corner, there is a new headache at hand. Prominent opposition leaders have accused the government of spying on them by trying to hack into their iPhones. The charges came thick and fast early this morning when opposition MPs, one after another, tweeted out the alert they got from Apple. The alert read, and I quote, "State-sponsored attackers may be attacking your iPhone because of who you are and what you do." Now, are the state-sponsored attackers the government of India? The opposition said, who else would want to snoop on us except the Modi government? And how is it that only opposition MPs and journalists who question the government have got this alert and no one else from the BJP? That's a valid question. TMC MP Mahua Moitra, Congress leader Shashi Tharoor, Pawan Khera as well, AAP leader Raghav Chadha, Shiv Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi, Asaduddin Owaisi, all were sent this alert from Apple. The opposition says it will come back to bite the government. Leading the charge today was Rahul Gandhi, who just, by the way, didn't get the Apple warning.
कम लोग हैं जो इसके खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं, मगर हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं, हम लड़ने वाले लोग हैं, हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। जितनी टैपिंग करनी है कर लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मुझे तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। अगर आपको मेरा फोन चाहिए मैं दे देता हूं, आपको उठा के ले लो। और ये पूरा का पूरा डिस्ट्रैक्शन जो हो रहा है, जब अदानी जी पैसा चोरी करते हैं, किससे चोरी करते हैं? देश की आम युवा से चोरी करते हैं, पिछड़ों से चोरी करते हैं, दलितों से चोरी करते हैं, आदिवासियों से चोरी करते हैं।
ये जासूसी किसी काम नहीं आने वाली है। आप किसी की प्राइवेसी में हस्तक्षेप कर रहे हैं और ये सरकार घबराई हुई है। 100 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोग इनके खिलाफ हैं। 100 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोग खिलाफ हैं। क्या सबकी सर्विलेंस करोगे, सबकी जासूसी करोगे, सबको डराओगे, सबको धमकाओगे? लोकतंत्र में डराने और धमकाने से नहीं, जनता के लिए काम करने से वोट मिलता है।
Now, some ministers in the government of India, like Piyush Goyal, dismissed the alert as a technical malfunction. Others called it a frivolous charge. Then came Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, who's the IT minister of the country. He said that Apple's statement over the alert is vague, but the government will go to the bottom of it. He also claimed that a similar alert was sent to individuals in 150 countries, but there was halabaloo only in one country.
जो आज एप्पल ने एडवाइजरी जारी की है, 150 देशों में इन्होंने एडवाइजरी जारी की है। कहीं पर कोई उनके पास जानकारी नहीं है क्लियर, वो केवल एक हाइपोथेटिकल या फिर केवल एक एस्टिमेट के बेसिस पे लोगों को उन्होंने ये अलर्ट भेजा है। ये वेग है। हमने इसमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑर्डर कर दिया है ऑलरेडी, और इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके तह तक जाएंगे। इस देश में कुछ हमारे कंपल्सिव क्रिटिक्स हैं जिनको आदत लग गई है, कोई भी मुद्दा हो जब नींद खुले तब उठ के क्रिटिसाइज करो।
Now, one of the opposition leaders who got the alert is Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Shiv Sena. In fact, she was the first person to tweet about it this morning. She's joining us on the broadcast. Priyanka, thanks very much for joining us. Can I ask you what has prompted you to write to the Prime Minister and the Home Minister over this alert that you've got from iPhone?
I think the seriousness of the message that I have got from Apple, which says it's a state-sponsored attack to an attempt to hack into our phones, is a matter of seriousness, and that is why I think it deserves the priority that I've given by writing to the Prime Minister. There are two factors that I see in this message. Apple has issued a statement categorically saying that yes, they have sent this mail out and messages out to those who they've identified could be under threat of hacking. And second, they said they haven't specified the state actors. So I look at it like this: if these are international state actors, then what is our government of India doing on that particular issue? If they are attacking specifically the opposition members, then how can international state actors interfere in India's processes? Second, if it is our very own government which is behind this kind of hacking and surveillance, and this is not the first time that they've been accused of this. There have been several investigative reports which suggest that Pegasus was bought from Israel and it was used on various activists, various journalists, and various critics of the Modi government. And we still don't have a clean idea as to what really happened to that investigation. So alerting the Prime Minister, the IT Minister and the Home Minister of this country to the seriousness of these state actors who have gone rogue, I think is a responsibility as a member of the opposition. And as a member of the opposition, I am very well within my rights to question my government and to question and to seek accountability from them.
No, so here's the thing, Priyanka. The opposition and you are accusing the government of snooping on you, and then you want the government to investigate these snooping charges.
So that is exactly what I've written in my letter, that even if you ask for a free and fair investigation, I doubt it will be a free and fair investigation. And this is not that I am making this charge against my government. It is Apple which has sent me this really long letter with concern, cautioning me, telling me what are the steps I can take to safeguard my data, ensure my fundamental right as an Indian citizen is maintained by respecting my privacy, ensuring that my data is not compromised, my emails are not compromised, the apps I use are not compromised, my photographs are not compromised, is a concern coming from the manufacturer of the handset that I'm using. It's not something I've made up against my state agencies. Now, it is for Apple to specify and for my government to investigate as to how something like this has happened and on such a massive scale.
Now, Apple is saying two things. A, it's saying, essentially, I'm paraphrasing them, that we cannot tell you who these state-sponsored hackers are because, then they will do things to avoid detection, which is something we don't want. So essentially, there is no clarity from Apple on who has actually launched this hacking attempt on your phone. B, Apple is also saying, very importantly, this could very well be a false alarm. What do you make of Apple's statements? Because the government is saying it's very vague.
I think Apple is very clear. Apple has very categorically stated that they have sent these statements, and they do this from time to time. And they haven't specified the state actors, but they believe that these are very sophisticated cyber attacks that happen with the support of state agencies, with the funding of the state agencies, and with the systematic support of how it is functioning. And that they are so dynamic by using technology that their technology keeps changing, and that is why they are not very specific about the information that they're sharing, because they fear that once those who are indulging in acts like these would figure that Apple has figured out how they're going about their entire hacking of data. So that is why they have very categorically stated that as well, that these are very high-end people who are with lots of money, deep pockets, to continue changing their style of hacking. So I think their vagueness does not in any way deny the fact that we were coming under an attack, and they've done their responsibility by letting us know.
The government of the day has, of course, rubbished the charges, but we've also now heard from India's IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. He's saying, okay, we will investigate the matter. We'll get Apple to join the probe as well. But there are 150 countries in which these alerts have been sent by Apple. But there is halabaloo and alarm only in one country, which is India. And that is because there are, compulsive critics that India has of the government of India. तो उनको कुछ काम वाम नहीं है करने को. इसलिए ये ऐसे हल्ला मचाते रहते हैं.
This is so amusing. It's like saying, अगर मेरे घर में चोरी होती है, पूरी दुनिया भर में चोरी होती है, so I should not cry about it. Is that the case? So अमेरिका में भी चोरी होती है, इंडिया में होती है, देश के कोने कोने में होती है, विदेशों में होती है, तो हम चोरों को नहीं पकड़ें. That's such a ridiculous claim to make. I'm sorry. While I appreciate the fact that he has stated that this is a matter of serious concern, which till now Bharatiya Janata Party was dismissing. Their IT head was dismissing, former IT minister was dismissing, but at least he's understood the seriousness of it. Maybe because he's a technocrat at the end of the day, he understands how serious this is. And second, that it is his responsibility to ensure that once we have a data bill in place, data act in place, we are still seeing compromise of data happen, and not with people, with citizens. Of course, it's happening. We've just heard of how data compromises happen over COVID details. Now we are seeing this happen with members of the opposition. So he has promised an investigation, but at the same time he's ranting about the opposition, but it's not the opposition's charge to make. It's not the opposition's charge. It is not like one fine day we woke up and we said, okay, this is a problem. I tweeted it last night as soon as I got a call, as soon as I got a message. I checked with cybercrime experts that is this message genuine? I was confirmed that this message is genuine. That is why I put it out there. It came as a sense of concern. But when I woke up in the morning and I saw there were just so many members of opposition who've got this, it's clearly something that needs to be identified, answered by the government of India. It's not for the opposition to answer. It is a claim that came from Apple, the manufacturer. And we've brought it to your concern and notice, and it is your job now, rather than ranting at the opposition, to do your job and understand how data is getting compromised by, if it's state actors, by the government of India and the agencies, have they gone rogue, or international agencies which are interfering in India's democratic process. Both are serious concerns.
Okay, Priyanka, we'll leave it there for the moment. Priyanka, thank you very much for joining us. Let's quickly get in a word from our panelists as well. Pradeep Mahaur is leader BJP. Amit Dubey is a national security expert and crime investigator on cyber forensics, joining us on the broadcast. Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. All of you know him well. And we have Mohammad Tausif Rahman, who's a TMC spokesperson, joining us on the broadcast as well. शुरू तो आपसे ही करना पड़ेगा, Mr. Mahaur, और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है क्योंकि चार्जेस आपके खिलाफ हैं, आपकी पार्टी के खिलाफ हैं. There is a very simple point that the opposition is making. The opposition says, who else would want to spy on us? Matlab, we are not people of such interesting characters that agencies and world leaders would want to spy on us. There is only one entity that wants to spy on us, that is the Modi government, and therefore the logical finger will point to the Modi government trying to spy on us.
Sure, logical fingers can point to anybody, in fact. First of all, this message that has been issued by Apple, it is completely bizarre kind of a message that has reached to the people. I'm saying this because of one reason. They have, on their website, they have a classification. How do you classify a state-sponsored attack, right? So their classification is something like this, that state-sponsored attacks are specific on specific people. While if some hacker is doing it, he'll do it on a mass scale. So if somebody is trying to hack my mobile phone individually, he might have some interest in me, and that will be called as a state-sponsored attack. I mean, that's completely cryptic and misleading kind of a statement that is issued by Apple first. Yeah.
But no, ठीक है, Mr. Mahaur, I understand and I completely agree that even the clarification that Apple has sent is very vague. But they are not specifying anything. So the government of India there is absolutely correct. But Mr. Mahaur, the specific individuals who have been targeted or have got these messages are only India MPs, not BJP MPs. So they clearly have been targeted for a purpose. Now, are you telling me that someone sitting in Leh and Ladakh or China wants to snoop on opposition MPs? Arey bhai, there has to be motive na for every crime.
No,
what is the motive for someone sitting in Ladakh or China to snoop on opposition MPs? Okay. The only one who will want to do it is the government of India. Logically, to yahi hoga na.
No. Logically, I don't know. Opposition has got only one logic. They have, on every single issue, they'll just put up the gun and fire on the government. That's it. I mean, because they are sitting there, getting bored, sitting in the opposition. So every time they are, pointing the gun on us. There are many people who are not in the opposition. I mean, I heard the name of Mr. Samir Saran and 2 or 3 more people who have got similar kind of messages.
He's from ORF.
And they have nothing to do with the government,
No,
or
those
neither
4
they are in the
people.
opposition.
Siddharth Vardarajan is one of them, again a journalist who is
Yeah.
not exactly favorable to the government of India. So let's,
Journalists,
Mr. Mahaur,
no.
let's just be honest here.
Journalists are
It is
always
people
favorable.
who
I mean,
oppose
that
the
is their
government of
point
India
of
who've
view.
got these alerts. No one else.
No. Journalists.
ठीक है, तहसीन, would you want to come in here? अच्छा, Mr. Mahaur, okay. See, the fact is that Pegasus में भी बीजेपी का रिकॉर्ड कोई बहुत अच्छा तो है नहीं. You know what the Supreme Court's technical committee had said, na? That the government of India refused to cooperate with us. You know that, right? तो वो उसकी तो बात ही मत करिए, वो तो 2 साल पहले ही मामला बंद हो गया. But anyhow, तहसीन पूनावाला, just come in here. Mr. Mahaur of the BJP is saying essentially what the government of India is saying, कि ऑपोजिशन वालों को और कुछ काम करने को है नहीं, ये ऑपोजिशन में रह रहे के बोर हो जाते हैं. So every 2-3 days or every 2-3 months they come up with a new shagufa. The new shagufa now is the iPhone alert.
Shreya, let's go step by step, each thing at a time. Let's start with what happened 2 years ago on Pegasus. And as you rightly pointed out, the Honorable Supreme Court in its written judgment based on the committee report said the government of India did not cooperate with a Supreme Court appointed committee. There were traces, they could not be certain because the government of India did not cooperate. So A, did the government of India buy Pegasus? Yes or no? We haven't got an answer to that. Then you come down to the Financial Times report in March, which said that India is looking to buy spyware worth $16 billion, going up to $120 billion over the next couple of years. These questions have repeatedly been raised by opposition MPs. We don't want to know what's spyware. We don't want to know anything. Is the government of India buying something like this? No answers. It's not being bought from the BJP's private money or from the Honorable Prime Minister's private money, right? It's being bought from your and my money. We just need to know what is the validity. Now, why are the concerns about the Apple or any sort of hacking? The concerns are that in the Bhima Koregaon case, Shreya, you will recall, it has now come to light that certain evidences were planted, and thereby those accused continue to be in jail, including the charges that have now been withdrawn of assassination of the Honorable Prime Minister. They've all been withdrawn in court, but those activists or whatever that they were, these charges were now planted, including emails. You have to understand, and I want your viewers to understand something. Pegasus is not a mere software or malware. It's a classified military hardware. Now, the question is, who else can afford technology like this? The government's answer, and I've been on television channels throughout the day, has been, people like George Soros. But this is not available to individuals. It is available to states to buy. And that is the issue.
Correct.
Coming to the Apple, one last thing before I end. I think last month, Citizens Lab and Access Now have confirmed that the Apple alerts on the Russian spying on the Apple threat notifications were absolutely genuine. They've confirmed that, and therefore this makes it even more scary that if it's state-sponsored, and let's assume hypothetically not being done by our government, let's assume it's not being done, let's give our government the benefit of the doubt, then some other country is doing it. Now, this could include opposition leaders, could very well include cabinet ministers, could include judges, could include army men. It is duty bound for the government now to get even more to the bottom of it and cooperate with the courts rather than not cooperate.
But Mohammad Tausif Rahman, the opposition is accusing the government of trying to spy on them, and then the opposition wants a probe from the very same government. How does it make sense? Tausif is busy talking to someone else on the phone line.
There's a
Tausif.
No, I'm talking to you. There's a contradiction. This is the problem because I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can always hear you, Tausif.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can
Go
you hear
Loud
me?
and clear.
Yeah. So this is the problem. I was listening to my panelist, and he said that yes, we have Pegasus, and it is for a different purpose. But at the same time, I was sitting in a different debate when they said that we don't have Pegasus. Pegasus तो हमारे पास है ही नहीं, ऐसी नाम की चीज़ तो हमने कभी परचेस ही नहीं की है, कभी हिंदुस्तान में आई नहीं है. Now that's a problem. So if you don't want to fight election with votes, now this is the only hadkanda left in India that you want to snoop, you want to hack, you want to tap, and you want to send ED and CBIs. Now that is the problem. Tapping phone is ethically and morally wrong. The central government cannot capture people's privacy. Now, how are we supposed to exercise our freedom of speech if we can't speak because we are being recorded? I mean, now another thing. When you deny, I'm not talking about you, the anchor. When you deny that we are not doing any such things, but the leader of opposition in Bengal confidently says that we have all the call records, we have all the messages, we have all the WhatsApp messages. How come he have all the informations? In 2021, during the assembly elections in Bengal, Mamata Banerjee phone was tapped, Abhishek Banerjee phone was tapped, even a panelist, not a panelist, I mean like a political analyst, Prashant Kishore, his phone was tapped again. I mean, so why do you deny? And when you say that it is not our fault, it's something with the iPhone, something with the Android, something whatsoever, then why can't you take actions? I mean, you take action on TikTok, right? You remember that? You wanted to ban PUBG, you did that. You wanted to ban TikTok, you did that. Why can't you ban such things? And you just tell straight away that आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट चले जाइए, आप हाई कोर्ट चले जाइए, आपके साथ कुछ ऐसा ऐसा हो रहा है, आप चले जाइए. यहाँ पर एक कहावत है, मेरा कातिल ही मेरा मुंसिफ है, क्या मेरे हक में फैसला देगा? तो जो मेरा वकील और जज है ना, वही मेरा कातिल है. तो वो तो मेरे हक में फैसला देने से रहा, कुछ तो होने से रहा. So where are we going? हम तो कहीं जा नहीं सकते हैं, because BJP knows one thing very straight. आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट चले जाइए, आप FIR क्या? Why can't you take care of us? And why there is no tap, no snoop in the ruling government? Why only in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal and any opposition parties only? Why? Why such things? आप एक आंख से क्यों देख रहे हो? If you want to catch the chore, if you want to catch the thief, if you want to catch who's doing all this scandal, why can't you see your own people as well?
Okay. Amit Dubey, you know, you are someone who understands. Absolutely, you're making sense, and I'll get a response as well from the BJP leader. But let me get in a technical expert as well to understand what exactly has happened. Amit Dubey, you know what Apple has said, right? Now tell me, when the government says, where is the proof? The opposition is accusing us of snooping on them, spying on them, but look at Apple's response. They are saying we are not in a position to say who these state-sponsored actors are. So, hum kya kare?
Absolutely. See, I seriously see some dubious information in this notice, because this does not have many. It is missing many of these information. When such notifications are released, such alerts are released by any OEM or any application provider, they always give some remedy. They always give the next course of action, that, okay, this kind of vulnerability was there and you have to fix it, you have to upgrade this application, or we have fixed it. They should have clarified that as well, that, okay, we found this zero-day vulnerability. Because why they are claiming that this is a state-sponsored attack? Because this has been a zero-day vulnerability, which is only available to mostly state-sponsored people. Those are well-funded and they should have money, because this is very costly. It is available on dark web, especially for iPhone and any other such premium phones. That's why they have concluded that, okay, it could be a state-sponsored attack. But then whether it is fixed, whether I'm still vulnerable, what should I do now? They have not mentioned clearly the remedies to the end users or the next course of action, which says that they themselves are not very clear. They are just giving some generic alert which is not verified, which does not have any substance to prove, based on some information collected from outside or outer world. Now, this cannot be taken seriously unless until you can't just threaten people that, oh, somebody is trying to hack you. Beware. But what should I do? Should I close my phone? Should I switch off my phone? Should I uninstall everything? There is no action for me. And based on that notice, I'm fighting with my government or anybody else.
So, Amit Dubey,
now, this is something I think Apple should avoid. They should clearly give some justification when they are claiming that, yes, they are trying to be happy.
So you're saying that no one can take these alerts seriously, right? That is essentially what you're saying, that there is so little information that Apple has put on the table that you simply cannot take these alerts seriously and question your government over it. But here's the question, Amit Dubey, that the opposition is asking. They're saying, ऐसे कैसे कि ये alert सिर्फ opposition वालों को आए और BJP के एक भी नेता को नहीं आया? The BJP has 303 MPs. Not a single MP gets that alert. And only non-BJP MPs in the opposition are getting the alert. Isn't that suspicious? Because that is the moot point of the opposition's argument.
नहीं बिल्कुल, देखिए इस चीज को इसीलिए इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जरूरत है. ये दोनों साइड से इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जरूरत है. अपोजिशन भी इसको एज ए टूल यूज दे सकता है कि भाई मैं आज अपने फोन को खुद हैक करने की कोशिश करूं, मैं मेलवेयर डाल देता हूं, उससे क्या आएगा, मुझे नोटिस आएगा एप्पल से कि ओ समबडी इज ट्राइंग टू हैक योर फोन, बट वो तो मैंने खुद ही किया। अब मैं उस नोटिस को दिखाऊं, देखो somebody is trying to hack my phone, it could be that way also. Second, yes, there could be some state sponsored bodies, but उसके लिए एप्पल को कुछ तो इन्फॉर्मेशन देनी पड़ेगी। मेरा सवाल एप्पल की इंटेंशन पर है। It is not just giving some dubious notice and alert to selective people and saying that oh this can be very serious for you eventually, but there is no remedy for it. इस तरह से नहीं नोटिस भेजे जाते, और एप्पल being a such a mature company claiming that they are most secure phone and everything, they should definitely give some remedy or next course of action, which is missing in that.
Okay. Pradeep Mahaur, my last question is to you, and if Tehseen has any closing remarks. Gentlemen, just keep it brief. I don't have too much time. Pradeep Mahaur, look at how the BJP has responded since morning. First, when the allegation was made by opposition MPs, BJP MPs and union ministers came out and said, this is a technical malfunction. ठीक है, शाम तक आते-आते वो technical malfunction कहीं malfunction ही हो गया. Second, they come and say, oh, it has happened, you know, these alerts have been sent to 150 countries. So what if it has been sent to India? The third line of defense came from Ashwini Vaishnav, who's saying it's a serious matter, we will investigate it, but Apple's statements are vague. Even the BJP has to make up its mind on how they, you know, how they want to defend themselves against the charges that are coming. Your line of defense has been so weak that, you know, even your strongest supporters are finding it difficult to believe that it wasn't the government behind these alerts.
Look, the right person to answer these questions is basically the IT minister. So he has answered the way he should have. Other people, if you ask them, even if you are asking anybody else in the government, they will definitely answer their own way, and that is what they have done. And they are very right that, you know, these kind of messages should be avoided, and this is what they have made it clear that it should be avoided. I'm saying that these kind of messages should be avoided.
The government. You have people like Piyush Goyal. You have people like Piyush Goyal who said malfunction. Technical malfunction. What has happened to technical malfunction now? How is it a defense if you say it has gone out to 150 other countries? Chori 150 other countries में हो तो हम लोग ना रोएं. Anyhow.
No. One point. So who knows? Congress itself placed some of the hackers, and these alerts have been generated. I mean, they wanted to, you know, create a media news as it is being created.
New conspiracy theory.
Look,
new conspiracy theory that opposition itself has generated these alerts. ठीक है. No, I understand. Let me quickly get in 10 seconds to Tausif.
And you are calling me a conspiracy theory? Surprising. Tehseen Poonawala, such a senior leader.
Pegasus की तो बात ही मत शुरू करिए, because I don't have time. Pegasus की कभी और बात करेंगे. Mohammad Tausif, I have 10 seconds. I'm genuinely out of time.
Can I reply quickly? I'll reply quickly. Fortunately,
give me a minute.
Sorry.
Tehseen bhai, सिर्फ आपसे मुखातिब होना चाहता हूँ. I just want to know from you. That's it. It's a very sweet question. Does India? Yes, Tehseen bhai, just to you. मुखातिब आप हों, बस और कोई नहीं. Just tell me one thing. It's a very sweet question. Does India have Pegasus? Yes or no? Just answer me this. Yes or no? I don't want any explanation. कि उसमें आप जासूसी करेंगे, क्या करेंगे? I don't want to know anything. Do we have Pegasus? Yes or no? I'm quiet now.
Arey bro, I'm in your team. You have to ask BJP that. I also asked that question. You're the wrong person. You're asking that question, bro. That's my brother. You're asking the wrong person. But Shreya, that's a very valid.
ये मोहर जी के लिए बॉल थी. Any closing comments?
Don't take Tausif very, seriously.
But Shreya, he's asked a very valid question. The question is simply this. He's asked a very valid question. The question is simply this. Does India have this? Now, the second thing that the BJP spokesperson Pradeep Bhai spoke about is, what if a private individual put some malware in? Look, Apple, and because I am in this business, I can tell you, the Apple detection has very clearly said what a state-sponsored attack is. A state-sponsored attack requires a lot of resources, technological and financial. No individual, including their favorite George Soros, can afford it. For one, a lot of malware, which are critical hardware, are not even sold to them, or critical military installations are not even sold to individuals. This can only be done by a state, hence it's called state-sponsored. The question is, if it's not our government, which government is doing it? That is the critical question. It cannot be done by an individual because they don't have the resources.
Okay.
You are.
We leave it there. Out of time. Thank you very much in the times we live in. George Soros is the new Pakistan. Everything can be blamed to him. Best of luck to him. Pradeep Mahaur, thank you very much for joining us. Amit Dubey, good to have you on the show. Thank you, Tehseen, as always. And Mohammad Tausif, thank you very much. With that, I'm slipping into a quick fight. Not fight. I'm not fighting with anyone now. I'm slipping into a very quick break. Up next, a dog fight over urban spaces. It's a debate you want to watch. Do stay with us.